Hey guys, it's George. The K-pop end of year show season for 2022 into 2023 just came to an end with the Circle Chart Music Awards, which happened a few weeks ago. Oh, that was a disappointing red carpet. Oops. I wanted to put together a video giving you my top 10 favorite looks from this end of year show season, and we're going to go from number 10 down to number 1, and of course we're going to kick off with some honorable mentions because picking 10 is hard, especially when it comes to like the top 3. Oh my god, it was like pulling nails. If you're new here, hi, hello, and you want to learn more about my fashion background, I've left all of that information in the description box so you can go read it at your own leisure. But let's jump into our honorable mentions. My first honorable mention has to be my favorite host look from this end of year show season, and that belongs to Lee Da-hee at the 37th Golden Disc Awards. This dress gave us drama, and I feel like when it comes to dresses and females being on the red carpet, it's definitely more downplayed, whereas Lee Da-hee was like, I'm gonna give you drama. This beautiful metallic silver moment, the cutouts at the bust, the split, the sleeves that drape to the floor, and what I love is how the silver embellishment, it cascades down and then it falls and ombres into this beautiful soft pink tulle. So there's a softness to this dress, but there's still a dramatic element, and she just stole the show. I was so obsessed when she came out on the red carpet. My second and final honorable mention for this end of year show season belongs to Kep1er at the Mama. When they stepped out in these looks, I was just blown away because Kep1er either have like a good red carpet look, there's a few problems with cohesion, or it's just a complete miss for me, and this slapped. It was so cohesive, the colour palette is beautiful, and it steps away from that usual black and white vibe that we get on a K-pop red carpet. Yes, I know I love the black and white graphic vibes, but to step away and see some colour on a K-pop red carpet, it is a big deal. What I loved about this was how it was extremely hyper feminine. When you look at the fabrics, the silks, the satins, the beautiful ruche detailing, the drapery, it's all very flattering and soft, and then that beautiful baby pink and white. What I did say about this though is that I wish there was another 1 or 2 members in this beautiful pink colour, because majority of Kep1er are in the white, and we only have Yoojin and Huening Bahia in the pink, so give me more pink. Even as I click through onto my number 10 spot, I'm literally like, is this right? Like, should I change the order around? No. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna stick to my original decision. Honestly, like, top 10 lists, it is hard. It's so hard. In at number 10, we have Stray Kids attending the KBS Song Festival, and Stray Kids gave us a more mature and cleaner aesthetic this end of year show season compared to last year. Last year, there was a way more obvious branding. We still have those true Stray Kids elements here, but they've cleaned it up. They've given us a cleaner, more mature aesthetic, and I do really love it. Their look attending the KBS Song Festival, it was my favourite look of theirs from this end of year show season because it's very contemporary menswear, but it's very clean, and each member's been styled in a way that balances out perfectly. Changbin and Bangchan, for example, are both in those blazers styled shirtless, and then they've both got the brooches. And then we have Lino and Hyunjin, who both have the belted waist, and I like that IN has this crop blazer that wraps. You can see that there's that buckle detail because it ties back in to Felix and Hyunjin. Felix and Hyunjin as well, they've both got those textures and patterns. Felix has the pinstripe, which is very, very subtle, and then Hyunjin has the tweed, so it just gives a different texture with the black, especially when you get into those close-up shots. We then have Lino, Han and Sungmin in the white shirts and black ties pulling their looks together. I know we have IN, Felix and Hyunjin in that styling too, but this styling is what holds those 3 looks together. What really stood out to me with Stray Kids this season though is that they'd really turned down that obvious branding. We're still getting it here, obviously. Each member has that obvious branding. Lino, Dior, Han, I believe it's Dolce & Gabbana on the tie. IN, Gucci, very, very small on the beret. Felix, Yves Saint Laurent. Bangchan, Dior. Hyunjin, I'm unsure, he's probably got like a little earring or something. Sungmin has Burberry, and then Changbin has Gucci at the end. It's still there, but it's very subtle compared to last year where it was like, bam, Chanel pins in the face, like boom, 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 like brand names everywhere. So it's nice to see that their staple Stray Kids style has evolved and matured. In at spot number 9, we have Enhypen at the Mama wearing Prada. And Enhypen was another group this year that gave us a more cleaner, mature aesthetic. Last season, oh my God, their looks just absolutely slayed. They were so bold. And I'm not saying that their looks didn't slay this season, but last year they were so bold, really, really contemporary, in your face. Like every single event they stole the show, whereas here it was a lot more subtle and subdued. And I feel like their look at the Mama was one of their more contemporary looks that I just absolutely loved. I mean, I loved them all, but this was the one that like really spoke to me. All 7 members are decked out head to toe in Prada, and we're getting that classic Prada tie coming through, a very popular accessory within K-pop. And then we're also getting those high necks coming through on Jae, Sunghoon and Nicki. The very, very subtle Prada logo. And then Jae and Nicki have that pattern just around the neck. Something that I really love about these looks is that they're all tailored, but then we're getting that use of nylon coming through. We've got the nylon jacket on Jake. We've got the nylon trousers on Jae and Nicki, and it just gives a slight utilitarian vibe in combination with those chunky boots, especially on Nicki. The way the boots have been tucked in is like screaming like low-key utilitarian vibes. And you know I'm here for that. My 2 standout looks from the set though have to be Jungwon and Sunghoon. I love how clean their looks are, but you're still getting that Prada branding coming through, and I love the silhouette of the wide leg trousers, especially on Jungwon with that chunky boot, the Prada tie. Like I've said many times on my channel, if you see me ever wearing this Prada tie, you've got permission to cuss me out in the comments, because $400, £400, whatever currency, for a tie. Coming in at number 8, we have I-dle at the 37th Golden Disc Awards. These looks were so beautiful, and they're wearing a Thai fashion house called Asava. It's just so beautiful. And just for context, the 37th Golden Disc Awards were held in Bangkok, and Minnie is Thai, so this is a really special set of looks. It's really representing and just paying homage to where she's from, and I think that's so beautiful. And all of these silhouettes are great, the different tones of pink, and I believe each look is inspired by traditional Thai costumes. So again, there is a deeper layer to these looks, and they're meaningful. The fabrics as well, when you get to see them up close, are so beautiful. Like that silver that's been woven through the fabric, and it creates this very subtle pattern. When you see these looks from far away on the red carpet, you don't really see it, but as you get up close, the detail is so strong, and that's what I absolutely love. It's giving you like 2 different dimensions to these looks. Minnie and Soyeon's looks have to be my favorite. Minnie's, I love the asymmetric neckline, the strong shoulder with the cape that comes to the floor, and then she has those high-waisted straight trousers that have the center front press, and just the different stripes of pattern in the fabric. It is a beautiful color palette, beautiful use of pattern, and the silhouette is just mwah. And then Suyeon's, it's a very simple silhouette of the dress itself, but the way it's been draped and ruched, pulled across to her hip, and then you have that train that comes to the floor is dramatic, and the styling with those really chunky black shoes, it juxtaposes against the dress beautifully. Coming in 7th, we have Kim Woo Seok, and this suit, oh my God, this suit I absolutely love. In fact, he's giving us a full printed suit. It's a rarity on a K-pop red carpet, and the way it's been styled, it just highlights the print so beautifully. It doesn't take away from it. It doesn't make it incredibly bold and unwearable. It just flatters it perfectly. The suit is a slim cut, a single-breasted 2-button of a notch lapel, which is a very standard cut of men's tailoring. And then we can see that the trousers hitting him right on the hips, and it's coming down slim, sitting over the top of those slim Chelsea boots. And then the suit's been styled with this glittery dark grey shirt, which plays into the dark grey of the suit, but the metallic texture just lifts it. And I like the fact that they've styled the top buttons just slightly open, and you can see that he's got that very light chain around the neck. The styling of this suit is perfection. Coming in spot number 6, we have 17 at the 37th Golden Disc Awards. This is our 3rd entry in this video from the 37th Golden Disc Awards. As you can tell, it was a good red carpet. What I love about this set of looks from 17 is that they're giving us a different way to wear that classic black and white K-pop red carpet vibe. Members coming out in full white looks, full black looks, and then the few members in between that have got the balance of black and white. So it really harmoniously comes together, but it's very graphic, and the standing order of this is everything. Imagine if all of the members in white stood together on one side, all of the members in black stood together on the other side. It wouldn't have the same effect. So the fact that they have this specific standing order and the outfits are set out like this was so well pre-planned. Their stylist does an amazing job, and there are 13 members. Styling 13 members and keeping it cohesive, contemporary, chic throughout the lineup, that is so difficult. I remember the standouts for me were S.Coups in the middle in the all-white suit, and I love how it's been styled shirtless. It lets the cut of the suit be the statement, and it is. The way his right panel is cropped slightly shorter and the left panel comes down. It buttons almost at the hem of the right panel, and you have this step. It's graphic, it's contemporary. And then I like how it's been styled with the white pointed Chelsea boot just peeking out from the wide trouser. Very contemporary. The one that stole the show for me though was DK on the very right, wearing this Casablanca suit. I fucking love this suit. Double-breasted, full-button peak lapel, and the way that they've inserted that black panel into the peak lapel, it's so graphic and just so simple, but the effect of it, the impact is incredible. And then he's got the black buttons of the white edging, the wide cut trouser that has the split that sits over the shoe, and the shoe white with that heavy black sole. It reflects the lines of the suit. Beautifully done. Fifth place, I had to give it to Ateez, both at the SBS Gay Dijon and the KBS Song Festival. Yes, I know I'm cheating, but it's my video, so I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Ateez deserve fifth place for both of their red carpet appearances. I did give a higher score to their KBS Song Festival red carpet than their SBS, just because I felt like it was more cohesive. We'll get to that in a moment. Ateez's SBS Gay Dijon look, yes, it's black and white, but I love the use of the houndstooth. Hongjoon in the houndstooth crop jacket, and then the houndstooth around the neck of Yeonho with the Chanel brooch. Oh, it's so cool, it's so contemporary, and the way it's been styled with that classic white and black tux jacket, it pushes it in that contemporary direction. And then we have San, who has the houndstooth around the collar of his shirt, the Chanel brooch on the lapel of his jacket. And oh my god, the one I absolutely loved when you get to see it up close is Yosang. His jacket is a black jacquard, but when you get to see the close-up shot, you can see that it is a houndstooth, so it's very, very subtle, but it ties perfectly back into the other members. On Jungho, he's been styled a lot more classic. I believe this is the styling that he prefers, a more classic vibe with the DB6 jacket, the peak lapel, but he's got the houndstooth pocket square that's been folded out. And then Mingi on the end, he hasn't got any houndstooth, but he's got that Yves Saint Laurent brooch, which ties into Songhwa's, but ultimately I felt like it was just too classic compared to the other members, so that's why, you know, I deducted. At KBS Song Festival, I think their stylist did an impeccable job, and the styling does lean slightly more classic, but I feel that means it incorporates Jungho and Mingi's looks a lot more of the other members. But then the way that the suits have been styled, it just gives it that contemporary touch. Mingi, for example, he's wearing that pussy bow tie shirt, and you can see it this beautiful black and gold fabric that has that metallic quality to it. The Chanel brooches, it pushes the styling in a contemporary direction. Jungho, yeah, fair enough. Very, very classic, but he has the gold pocket square, which ties it into the other members. And then as you come down the line, you can see the styling is still very classic, but there's the gold brooches that just really give it that contemporary flair. In spot number 4, we have Treasure at the Mama. It's no shock that Treasure were going to be in this top 10. Every single red carpet, I give them 10 out of 10. The way that they're styled, each member has their own individual look going on, but when they step together, it's incredibly cohesive and contemporary. And I believe I gave them 10 yellow hearts every single time they attended, but the Mama has to be my favorite Treasure look from this end of year show season. I remember the thing that I absolutely loved about this set of outfits was all of the different textures. The leather on Jungkook, that sheer crew neck moment on Jaeak, And then we have the metallics and the satin on Yoshi. We have the beautiful flocked velvet suit on Hyunsuk. And then we have all of that beautiful gold hardware on Jiyoon and Jungkwan. Hyunsuk and Jiyoon's were my favorite. Hyunsuk, the velvet flocking of the suit, but then how the styling is not toned down just because of the textures. He has all of the brooches over the lapels. He has all of the rings, the bold, beautiful blue and purple hair. He always has this kind of like 90s bad boy vibe going on, and I just rate it so much. Like, always end up low-key crushing on him when he comes out on the red carpet. It's just can't be helped. And then Jiyoon's look. Oh my god, in my Mama video, I said if I could take any one of these looks home, it would be Jiyoon's, and I stand by that. This beautiful wrap suit, and you can see that it's belted at the waist, and then there's this split that just flares open from the side, and it just sits beautifully over the trouser. And then how the trouser's that wide leg with all of that gold hardware detail going down the side seam, finished with the chunky boot. It is perfection, and it ties in to the subtle brooch on the jacket, the ear cuff. The styling is down to a T. In third place, we have Sserafim attending the KBS Song Festival, and this set of looks blew me away. Sserafim had an amazing end of year show season on the red carpet. There were a few moments where it was a bit of a blip, but the styling was still very strong, and I heard on the grapevine that they were trying out different stylists, so this set of looks here really stood out to me because it's giving us graphic black and white, it's giving us this really strong 90s vibe, and also Sakura giving us this little like Wednesday Addams moment just as that series was coming out, which I absolutely loved. I do really dislike the styling of the shoe of the sock, especially when they styled it with the Nike sock. Oh my god, that was evil, but at least here it's not a Nike sock, and arguably the sock works with the look because it ties in to the white collar and cuffs and balances it out. My favourite looks from this set though have to be Yoonjin and Eunchae. Such incredible looks, especially Yoonjin. Oh my god, favourite hands down. The crop jacket with that wide graphic white collar, the gold buttons, and then the skirt that sits right at her waist. It has that beautiful split coming all the way down to the floor, and you can see that there's an underskirt, so it's not like too much, it's just enough. And then she's got that gold Chanel chain belt balancing out the gold hardware on the jacket. It is incredible. The styling of her hair up in the ponytail is just the perfect way to finish it because it shows off all of the detail of the outfit. And Eunchae's look is like a version, a sister of Yoonjin's look. She has that knitwear piece that has the lace bib, the buttons, the bow tie, and then she has that skirt that sits right at her waist and it comes down just skimming over her hips. And again, she has that gold Chanel waist belt, so it just gives that pop of gold, accenting Kazua's and Yoonjin's. Beautiful. My favourite women's wear looks from this end of year show season. And I guess that kind of gives you a clue who the top two spots are, and picking who was my number one spot was so difficult. It jumped back and forth between these two looks so much, and these looks are actually so similar, so pause the video here and let me know who you think it is in the comments. In second place, we have Monsta X attending the Melon Music Awards. This was my first time, I believe it was my first time anyway, seeing Monsta X on the red carpet, and this just blew me away. It was dramatic, it was chic, it was contemporary, and it was so cohesive. And I believe this was also Monsta X's stage look, and for me that was just like the double whammy. Like, how can a look be so perfect for the stage but also so perfect for the red carpet? How? Besides from the cohesion, besides from all of the beautiful embellishment, I remember what I loved about these looks is how they'd taken traditional elements of menswear and giving them that contemporary flair. The cummerbund on Hyungwon's look in leather, just what a way to give that classic piece of men's event wear a contemporary touch. Kian's look, he's got that pleat front white shirt and they've cropped it again, just immediately makes it contemporary, and a pleat front shirt is such a classic piece of men's event wear. And initially I thought he was wearing a tailcoat, but when you actually see him leave the red carpet, you can see that they've created this lace asymmetric tail piece that comes down from the trousers, so the crop jacket then ties into the other members, which I think is really clever because from the front it gives you that illusion. A detail I really loved about this set of looks as well was IM's. He has that lace panel in the back that then wraps around into the front of his jacket, and it lets you get the peak of that white shirt underneath. It adds a delicacy to this beautiful jacket that's so heavily embellished. Such a fantastic set of looks. I've really hyped them up, and you're going to be like, well, how come it's not your number one? I asked myself this too for a long time, and let me explain. Coming in first place, my favorite red carpet look from this end of year show season. It's Big Naughty at the Melon Music Awards. This was my first time seeing Big Naughty on the red carpet. It was my first time hearing of Big Naughty, period. And I was so obsessed with this look. And for me, the reason this just edged in front of Monsta X, even though these looks are so similar, what edged Big Naughty out in front was I feel like this look just leans more fashion, and I feel like you could see more people wearing this look, whereas I feel like Monsta X's looks do have that stagey vibe about them, even though I think they're perfect for the stage, perfect for the red carpet. Do you see what I mean? This one just leans in a slightly more fashion direction, whereas Monsta X leans in a slightly more costume direction. And I'm not calling it costumey, I'm literally just being like splitting fucking hairs. I remember the thing that I absolutely loved about this outfit was the fact that all of the embellishment is on the trousers and they're a straight cut. And when you see embellishment of male idols on the red carpet, it's usually on the jackets, very concentrated on the lapels, on the shoulders, coming down the sleeves, like we've just seen on Monsta X. So I like the fact that this gave it a different way to wear embellishment, and I think just the textures of this outfit are so beautiful. When you zoom in, you can see that this crop jacket is velvet and it has embroidery coming across the shoulders. Like the placement is just perfect, and black on black keeps it very subtle, and you can see that there's, I don't know if it's maybe a few crystals or hardware against the embellishment that just give it that pop of sheen. And the shirt underneath, I initially thought it was a plain black shirt, but really zooming in, it's sheer black on black. I believe it's little polka dots or maybe like a leopard print on a really small scale. And then the placket and the collar are solid, so it gives it that beautiful contrast. And all of the jewelry, the chain around the neck, the few rings on the fingers, the bracelets, it just finishes this look off perfectly. Big Naughty, you are my number one spot, so I'll be keeping a very close eye on you next end of year show season. Like, how did I not know anything about Big Naughty before, you know, reacting to this red carpet? Because I'm a big fan now. Like his music, his style, oh my god. There we have it. That is my top 10. Honestly, it was so hard to pick like the top 5, especially like the top 3. Oh my god. Please let me know in the comments who has your favorite outfit from this K-pop end of year show season. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you to everyone who subscribed. You're honestly amazing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Bye-bye.